What is going on, everybody? This is episode 31, I'm pretty sure. I'll try and block the sun. But we're just basically gonna do an overview of the car, of the Jetta, everything I've done to it, everything I've fixed, cosmetics, mods, just everything I've done, because we're close to 100 subscribers, which means a lot of you guys probably don't know everything that's done to this. For the most part, there's videos about everything, but I realize most people don't want to go back months to watch some video. So right now, right here, we're going to go over the whole car and everything that's done to it. Alright everybody, this is my 2004 Jetta GLI. She's a 1.8T engine with a KO3 turbo. Now, for the most part, she's pretty stock, engine-wise, at least at the moment. There's a few problems with her, a few misfires, but long story short, it just needs a tune, and all those problems should go away. So yes, I bought this car about a year and 2 months ago at this point, and I'd say it's come a very long way. I will see if I can find any pictures of when I first bought it, and I'll throw them up on the screen now. This video was taken from the previous owner, but here's the look of the Jetta before I even thought about buying it. As you can see, it's not horrible, but you can see a few of the things that have changed. The one thing I do miss is that lower lip. It made the car look so much lower than it is now. And yes, so let's get started with everything about it. We'll start with the very first things I did, and we'll just move on from there. So when I bought the car, it was registered in Pennsylvania, and whatever problems it had with it apparently passed inspection there. But since I'm in Maryland, we are a little more strict about our emissions and everything about the car, so I had to do quite a lot of work to get this Maryland legal. So one of the first things, the horn didn't work. So I can't show you because it's behind the front bumper, but I had to rewire a new horn onto it, and I had to splice the wires because however it was connected before, they cut the wires and they cut the fuse. So I just had to splice some wires together, and we got the horn working. We'll see if the car still has enough juice. Nah, I was gonna get the horn to honk. It sounds like an old time horn, and it's really not loud, but that's whatever. And moving on to the second thing I had to do. This driver's side handle would not open the door from the outside. From the inside it would, but the outside it wouldn't. And inspection didn't like that for whatever reason, so this actually took me probably a few days to get done between work and struggling with it. You guys probably know, maybe not, you have to take off this whole panel, and then behind it there's also a metal panel that you have to take off as well in order to get to the lock actuator. As you can see, a lot of damage was done to try and get these bolts out. This one came out a lot easier than this one. I had to pry metal out, I had to bend it. This screw I was supposed to replace. It's drilled in, it's barely on there, but I did buy one new one. I thought it was a packet too, it wasn't. So, I mean, that's in there. I haven't touched that since. The door still works, it opens, it's all good. One of the more sad things I had to do in order to get this car Maryland inspection legal and all of that, my tint. The tint on my windows, they pass because they're all about 35, a little more, a little less. You can still see through easily, but it gives you a little bit. But the real thing was my back tent. This was down to like, I think 10%, which it made the car look amazing. I loved it. It made the inside a lot darker, but Maryland obviously didn't like it, so I had to spend probably about 2 hours using a razor blade to scrape all of the old tint off. As you can see, there's spots that I couldn't get to, and I've just left them. I mean, that doesn't bother me that much. I'm sure some people would have a cow over that, but I really don't care. It passed inspection and it was okay. And the last thing I had to change for inspection was this bulb. Inside of here, the connector that the bulb clicks into so it doesn't move, it's broke, snapped. So I don't think the bulb's in there anymore. When I turn on my headlights, it looks like I have underglow, at least just on this one tire, because this light is just hanging down in here somewhere. I've tried to duct tape it in, tried to do many different things. It never stays in. So if I want to get this fixed, actually, I'd probably just have to buy a new turn signal. I'm lying. It's not my turn signal. It's this one. This is the one that had all the problems. Yeah, the bulb's not in there, but it passed inspection for the time and it's fallen out since. I don't care about it. Now that we've gone over the few things I had to do to fix the car in order to get it legal in Maryland for me to drive, I'm gonna move on to all the mods and cosmetics I've done throughout the year to make it look good, make it feel better, you know. So the very first thing that was done, these seats, they're just seat covers. It's nothing crazy. Don't ask me to pronounce his name because I've got no clue. It was a birthday present from my ma, but they're honestly pretty nice. It's all leather. I've been sitting in this one for a year, so it's pretty ripped up, but this one's still fresh and new. It does have a little bit of a cushion on the sides, almost like a racing seat, kind of like a Recaro or something to keep you in place. It's not nearly as supportive or anything, but it does help the tiniest bit. So that was the very first thing that I did to this car, technically. Now, let me think. The second thing was more of just a cosmetic fix. These, I'm sure they used to be silver or chrome decaled or whatever, but when I first bought it, this was all silver and rusted. Both sides were just covered in rust. I do have a video about that. As long as I can find it, I'll put the thumbnail right up here somewhere. But all I had to do here was just sand, you know, 80 grit, 120, and then 220 or 260, whatever it is. And then I just masking taped it off and spray painted. And that was about probably 6 or 8 months ago at this point, and it's still holding up. That changed the look of the car tremendously. Now coming to the front, I bought brand new headlights. They're OEM stock headlights, but they were brand new. The other ones were, you know, fogged up and everything. And also, somehow they were wired wrong. I don't know how, but I just ended up getting 2 new ones. And they're still pretty nice and clean, no fog, no nothing like that. So we're okay with that and we like that. If we're gonna stay in the order that I did things, we have to move over to the trunk now. There's the homies. Anyways, we have to move over to the trunk in order to show you what's next. So here we go. Nothing crazy, of course, nothing insane. But the next thing I did was the strut bar, the tower strut bar. This was the first time I had drilled holes into my own car. I also had to do a little bit of bending and prying so that this back bar would fit between this water rain guard or whatever it is. So yes, I can tell the smallest difference with this, taking corners. It's a little more sturdy. And then we probably moved on to this HPS short ram air filter. This is honestly probably the best thing I've done to the car so far. It's brought out so much engine noise and so many turbo noises. It makes it louder. From inside the cab, it kind of sounds like almost like a vacuum sucking air when I'm in lower RPMs. Well, once you get it, she will rip. So definitely this was a good purchase. I do need to clean it. I have not cleaned it since buying. As you can tell, she's pretty dirty. Okay, and the next thing I think I've done, I'll try and find a picture and put it up, but my mirrors, they are both black right now and it's perfect. It looks amazing, so much better than it did as you guys saw in the picture. But one used to be like white. My driver's side just used to be plain white, like it was sanded down to get repainted and never did. The passenger side was perfect and it was silver, the same as the car color. But in order to get them both to match, I've changed it to black. And honestly, I like it. I like it a lot better than the silver and it looks pretty good to me. We can move inside into the driver's seat. And nothing crazy much has been done in here, but I have changed the shift knob. This one was a universal, it was from my previous car. I just wanted to switch up the shift knob. So I ended up putting this on, and obviously she doesn't stay very well. I can unscrew this bottom cap and there's Allen screws that I can screw to make it tighter. But at the same time, after like 4 shifts, it just comes off. So I've left it. Eventually, a short throw shifter will be thrown into here. I'll get a new shift knob for that and it'll be perfect. So I'm okay with that. And then we move over to my tri-stack glow shift gauge holder thing. I'm forgetting the name. Obviously I've got 2 open spots. That's going to be for my air fuel ratio and my oil pressure most likely. These will be later purchases. It's whatever, I'm not too worried about it. We do have our glow shift boost gauge. Changes colors. It's got like 8 different colors I think in different modes and it's cool. Now obviously this is not put up correctly, as you can see gaps, but that's because of how it's wired. I'm not able to get it flush because my boost wire is back here, my boost hose I should say, and I don't want to clamp it off and get bad readings on here. So I'm okay with it. She's not going to come off. The top is fastened in, the bottom just moves sometimes, but she works for me and I'm cool with it. Moving over to one of the more, it was a very quick fix, if you would take that. Up here on this panel, as you can see, underneath, this is what it all used to look like. It was never refabricated or nothing, so honestly, I just got some fabric and I sprayed and I just glued this on. It doesn't look amazing by any means, but that looks better than this nasty stuff underneath. So I'd say that's a plus. Ooh, and we can never forget, this was actually I think one of the first things I did to the car. The Savage sticker from Eliminate. If you haven't, go check them out on YouTube. Eliminate. They are another car channel and I've been watching them for years now. It's between, you can learn about car stuff, but at the same time they have fun. They go drifting, they go to Japan. It's a little bit of both. So if you're not completely into the cars, but you want to learn, that's probably the best channel to get to. It's a mix of everything and it's nice and enjoyable. And now we'll move on to, I guess, the hood. Because the hood it's matte black. Obviously not the original. But probably 4 months ago, I hit a deer. I was on my way home from dinner with a homie and it was late. The deer just jumped. I wasn't going fast at all or anything. I was going like 35 maybe. And of course, I've got a video about that too. I'll try and put it up on the screen. But the deer kind of wrecked the front of my car, surprisingly. I wasn't going fast, as I just told you, but it definitely did some damage. Nothing mechanical, it still ran perfectly fine, but my whole hood was kind of crunched forwards and it was hard to get it latched and unlatched. So of course we bought a new hood, which is black. I was a little skeptical at first about the color match and everything, but honestly, I'm loving having a black hood, not matching the car. I just like that. And now we move on to, completely forget what you would call this. but this got shredded. I used to have a cool emblem here, and the back was silver. This is black, but I had to replace this as so. It looks all right. Another part, we've got cracks in the front bumper, a bigger crack in the front bumper, and some more cracks in the front bumper. The deer also took off this insert, and I never went back for it, so I lost that on the road. So just recently, actually just last video, we replaced the inserts, and also my lower lip got destroyed from the deer. So also in the last video, I put on a new lip, and she's looking better than she has in months. I mean, overall, nothing crazy has been done to this car, but a lot of it was getting it to look how it does now, a little better than it used to. Now, I've only got a few more plans left for it, at least at the moment. It had a engine swap, and the computer was never reprogrammed to the new engine. So there is a few misfires. My turbo's under boosted at the moment, but I'm fairly certain that just getting a tune will fix all of those problems, and the car will be running perfectly fine as it should. Now, recently, probably in the past 2 months, my exhaust has started to do a pop and burble because I've got an exhaust leak, if you want to call it that. But on my flex pipe, there's now 2 cracks where exhaust is just getting out, and it sounds cool, don't get me wrong, but it's really not supposed to do that. So the next step is to buy a new exhaust, and also that's going to help with the tune. So we'll buy a new exhaust, we'll tune it, and obviously we are going to buy some new coilovers and slam her as far down as we can get her, because she's kind of low, but at the same time, I've still got 2.5 inches of space that I can drop her. And plus, she's a Jetta. She's supposed to be slammed to the ground. So this may have been a quicker video, may have not. I gotta go home and edit this all, but it is Tuesday, so it's upload day. As you guys know, we gotta get this stuff done. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We're so close to 100. That would make my week. I've said it before, but if we can reach 100 subs from this video, that would be amazing. But I hope you guys stick around for next week, and I will see you all next time.